Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a sewer tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 284 Stark Street North here in Salem. We're located on the rooftop. We have a 4-inch cast iron vent as our point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running. I'm going to zero out the length counter here at the base of the vent. And here we go. I'm going to go turn the water off. It looks like we've got some really significant root intrusion going on here. The line is just completely full of water. This is probably going to need to be drain cleaned before scoping. Here in 32 feet, the line hits the terminus. It's comprised out of cast iron and concrete pipe on the way out. We'll let the line drain out now. It looks like there was just a bunch of toilet paper built up in those roots, and I think I punched it out of the way, so we were able to get past that point. But I will locate that spot on the way back. I will recommend a repair there for sure. Okay, I located the camera. The line heads to the right side of the property on the backyard side of it. If you were to walk through the gate on the right side of the home into the backyard, you'd walk about maybe 20 feet beyond that gate into the backyard, and that's kind of where it's heading through the fence. I'm not able to get the locator right over the top of the signal here. It looks like this is likely just on the other side of the fence line, and it's definitely worth looking at the title report to see if this is designated as an easement, and to rule out the possibility that it could be a party line. Because it looks like it is kind of terminating on the other side of the fence, which I'm assuming is someone else's property, but not positive there. We've got some toilet paper collecting at these joints right here. All I see is toilet paper. Sometimes this can indicate that there could be roots underneath that the toilet paper is just collected over the top of. But at this time I can't verify whether that's roots or just some toilet paper that's caught at that spot. Kind of a similar situation here. We do have some roots not roots, I'm sorry, but toilet paper kind of hung up at the joint here. This joint is showing some separation. Throughout, the concrete is showing wear as well. There's aggregate rock you can see showing through. So the pipe is showing some wear. I'll push back out here really quick here. And sometimes this stuff will get caught in these joints just because they've opened up and separated like this. So anyway, it's looking and it's getting to the point where it's in kind of rough shape. That toilet paper is letting you see how open or separated those joints are. They're all sitting about a ½ inch of separation, or at least the ones that have toilet paper at them. Another similar situation, and all of these could have small minor roots coming through, and that could be why they're collecting there. But they're, for the most part, most of these joints here in the line are showing some separation. It's hard to verify whether they're allowing to see that or not. And now we're starting to see the root intrusion here in the line. It's a very, very large root intrusion. It starts here at about six feet out, where it transitions from cast iron to concrete. And the roots extend out to about here. These could be just growing down the pipe from a different joint. I'm going to push all the way out there. It's right about here where I don't see much in the way of roots anymore. Because repair is already needed here, it's about a 6-7 foot section of pipe there that needs to be replaced. The rest of the concrete is in rough condition. It's showing aggregate rock. There's separated joints. I would recommend just fully updating this line at this point. You're going to have to do a decent repair here to do this portion, and it would be the most cost-effective time to do a full line update. It's a fairly short line, so anyway, it's worth doing that, at least in my opinion anyway. But the necessary parts to get repaired here that aren't, so that the line's not going to get clogged and backed up, it's going to be from about 6 feet to 13 feet to correct the root intrusion. I just located the camera head in the backyard area. I've marked with a white X at 2 feet 2 inches deep, so quite shallow here. Which is great too, because the shallower the line is, the easier it is to get down. Saves on money. Even better reason to do the full line update. It will be cheaper to do it in this situation because it's not a terribly deep sewer line. I'm going to pull back here to the beginning. Keep in mind for the repair guys that my markings are at either end of the repair, and there obviously is a turn here in the line, so keep that in mind. Now I'm going to mark this spot right here with a white T. This is where the roots start, but this is also the cast iron transition. I would highly recommend doing a full line update at this point. Obviously you've got a good section of the line here that needs to be replaced. At this time, this would be the most cost-effective time to just do a full line update. It's a fairly short sewer line. The rest of the line is getting very close to needing that anyhow. The concrete's showing a lot of aggregate rock, and the joints are separating, so this would be a good time to do the full thing. But in the immediate, I would definitely get this 6-7 feet pipe here with the roots in it taken care of before it blocks the line. The line was basically about backing up when I went through here originally. Okay, I have the root intrusion here mapped out, marked with white paint in the backyard. It's only about 1 foot 7 inches deep right here. Very shallow line. Recommend at the very least repairing the root intrusion here from starts at about 6 feet and extends out to 13 feet. And it's 1 foot 7 inches to 2 feet 2 inches deep across that repair. I do highly recommend just fully updating all the concrete pipe, starting here at the cast iron transition out to where the line terminates. I do have a white arrow marking over by the fence showing where the line passes underneath the fence, but I was not able to get right over the top of it, so that is to be considered a fairly rough marking, but just given how shallow the line is, it should be very easy to just track the line out. I recommend a rescope once the line is repaired to ensure that the repair is done properly. So this is the vent here. The line comes out the back of the house. This is the backyard. You can see my white paint markings down there. That's where the roots start. And then the line just heads over to the fence line there. And it might be hard to see, but there's a white paint marking over by the fence. That's right around where the line terminates. It looks like it terminates just beyond on the other side there. So definitely look into that. Make sure it's an easement, not a party line.